Unless you've been living under a rock lately, you know that in 2028, we're getting a brand new Mummy movie. And I'm super stoked because we're gonna get the original cast members back. To get myself hyped for that, I decided to give the first one a rewatch to see if it still held up. Spoiler alert, it does. Revisiting The Mummy was an awesome experience, even though I have seen the film several times. It's an excellent film that I love watching. It's sort of like comfort food. It is a perfect mix of action, adventure, and comedy. It reminds me of films like the Indiana Jones films, the Pirates of the Caribbean, Goonies for me when I was a child. Basically films that are just really easy and fun to watch. Anytime they're on, you're gonna turn them on, no matter how many times you've seen it, because they're just so enjoyable and it's a good way to pass the time. Rewatching this most recently, I had forgotten how funny this film was. Between Benny, Jonathan, and the Warden, between those three characters, there's just a ton of comedy. Physical comedy, the dialogue, just the personalities. There's a lot of really funny scenes that stick out to me from this film. One of my favorites is when Benny is trapped with the rising mummy and he's reciting all these prayers in different religions. What I like about that scene is it shows who Benny really is. He'll do anything to save his neck. He'll believe anything you tell him to if he can survive and if it'll get him ahead. But it also shows us that he is clever. I mean, he learned all those languages and all those prayers, so there's that. This is just a film made for pure entertainment. It's the definition of a popcorn film. It's something to watch in groups, with your family, with your friends, by yourself. It doesn't really matter. But you know that you're gonna turn it on, you're gonna have a good time, you're gonna escape from whatever problems you have in your daily life, you're gonna go on this adventure with people you like, you're gonna laugh, you're gonna see some awesome action sequences, and it's just gonna be a good time. It feels like films today always have a political message, a call to action, some kind of world event, some kind of focus on a social issue, or anything like that. And we just don't have a ton of these films that are just meant to entertain. And I mentioned Pirates of the Caribbean is a great example of these films. You turn them on, you have a laugh, you see some fun action sequences. They're really enjoyable to watch. And they have a charismatic lead, Jack Sparrow. Here you have Rick O'Connell. We've had this sort of 2-decade span of superhero films, which have kind of taken that mantle of big, fun popcorn movies. But I feel that people have started to grow tired of superhero films. There's fatigue of it because there's just so many of those movies. So I think this is a perfect time for Hollywood to cycle back and do some more of these action adventure films. And you're seeing that with The Mummy 4 coming back with the original cast. They know now is a perfect time to capitalize on that. They can get a good budget for the film. People are ready for another Mummy movie. Brendan Fraser has had a sort of career resurgence lately. He won an Oscar. His name is back in the A-list ranks, if you will. And so this is a perfect time to bring this film back. So I'm really looking forward that they're bringing all the main cast back. And I'm glad that they're deciding just to ignore the third one and say this is a direct sequel to the second one. Look, it's Hollywood, it's cinema. We know what happened. We know sometimes films bomb. Don't spend time explaining, oh, this happened, but this happened. Just say, hey, look, this came out, it didn't do well, let's just ignore it, let's pretend it never happened, and let's carry on. No one cares, and I bet you, if this fourth film does really well, they will greenlight a fifth one, and it'll probably come out pretty soon after that. The directors, I'll put their names on the screen. They directed Ready or Not, which is a really fun take on a slasher film, really enjoyable, funny, gory, violent. One last thing I want to talk about. How does the Mummy special effects still look pretty decent and all these new and upcoming films look so crappy? What happened is A, you had people really working hard on their craft at the time, and B, the special effects, they were smart with it. Like when they're on the plane flying back to the city of the dead and the mummy comes up behind them in sand, that's really smart because you can make sand look grainy and dusty and it still looks good. There's a lot of practical and special effects mixed together in this film. They do a really good job. I mean, this film was 1999, so the fact that it still looks this good is pretty impressive. So yeah, I urge you, if you haven't watched The Mummy in a few years, go back, give it another watch. It's just a fun, enjoyable film. Tell me, who is your favorite character in The Mummy? Are you excited for The Mummy 4 coming out? And who of the original cast who's returning are you most excited about? I'd love to hear about that. I'd love to have a discussion and conversation with you all. And until next time, stop scrolling, start watching.